I am so glad you're here because I've always wanted to talk to people who was into reading cards. You read cards and all that kind of stuff.
And
right?
auras, jewelry even.
What are auras?
So your aura is the energy band. I can see it in color. It's like a heat signature across your body.
And you can read that?
Yeah, they're different color codes, and therefore we can see what's coming in and what's leaving.
Since I am as black as the ace of spades, what color is my aura?
You have a very high purple color right here, so that's the right side. That's what you're projecting out to the world, is that you know things. You're a knower.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And I can't feel it or tell that it's there.
You're awfully intellectual, and that gets in your way a lot.
Can other people see it?
People like me can, people who have cultivated their gifts, sure.
How did you become an occult priestess?
It's
and
a
what
self-title.
is that exactly?
Okay, great. It is a self-title. They say it's a new meme. Occult means hidden, and most people know that. It's also a medical term, occult, hidden from the doctor. But the occult actually means, the antiquity version of the word, means hidden from the uninitiated. So I believe that God calls people and initiates them through certain trials and errors in their hero's journey. I have been through many years of initiations to bring me into the secret or beyond, meta. Meta actually means beyond the mundane waking world.
Did someone teach you to do this, or you just decided to do it?
So I had sleep paralysis, which is a type of spiritual warfare, where I was attacked at night through dreams by a dark shadow entity. And I believe that that was the first initiation for me, and what told me basically what my life was going to be like.
And was that dark shadow evil?
Yes, very
evil.
much.
And so evil told you that you should become a priestess?
No, evil scared me straight to God.
Oh, I see.
So occult merely means hidden from the uninitiated. So if you're not initiated by heaven, then you won't understand what I'm understanding through experience.
So are you a Christian?
I'm a pagan, if you want to put it that way, but I'm also a Buddhist of the ancient lineage of Karma Kagyu. And so I am many different faiths.
What is a pagan?
So paganism is, I'm Wiccan in particular, and we worship basically a god and a goddess, a masculine and feminine form, Shakti, Shiva, if you like, of the god and goddess. And we learn through nature, through the cycles of the seasons, and through the cycles of ourselves. And it's very introspective.
So you were raised what religion were you raised
A
in?
Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
That's enough to drive you into a cult, priestess.
Well,
Priestess.
it was very difficult to be in that cult.
Yeah.
And then I found out what the occult was and know the difference.
What's the difference between an occult and a cult?
So occult, classic meaning, is hidden from muggles or hidden from the uninitiated.
Okay.
And then cult is when there is a leader. There are a list of things you have to go through to tick boxes of what a cult is. But there's a leader, and there's sycophantic people who are escaping their true lives to be in worship or in service to the head person that's the head of the cult.
What type of things did you go through when you were a part of that religion growing up?
There was a lot of
Jehovah's
shame.
Witness.
My mother at one point was disassociated from that church, therefore no one in the family spoke with her. And I was like, love, what about love?
Yeah.
And it was a very difficult childhood growing up with that spirituality, which was very close-minded, and you're only gonna do A, B, and C, and that's all your potential is. So it crushed creativity and expression, basically.
So when your mother was no longer part of that religion for whatever reason, they stopped talking to,
That's right.
to your mother. Did they stop talking to you too? That meant you were out as well?
No, but I was treated differently, and my mother was not invited to the family functions, and so it caused a great rift emotionally.
How did that affect you?
Personally, it made me question everything. Are these people really, do they love my mother? Is there a bond here, or what's going on? You know, so
And
it's a lot of questions.
did your father continue to go? Were you raised by your father as well?
No, my father was an alcoholic, so he basically lived on the couch. And so I haven't met him much in my lifetime.
Oh, when you say he lived on the couch, he was there, but he was an alcoholic?
Not in our house,
Oh.
in his own home.
So your father and mother wasn't married?
Not anymore.
Oh, they were married and they divorced?
That's correct.
So are you close to your father now?
No, he's passed. My mother's also passed.
Were you close to him before he expired?
No, we only met a few times in this lifetime. I've only met my father a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And so when you say in this lifetime, have you met him in another life?
Oh, I'm sure that we do that all the time. Yeah.
So you believe that you meet him in another life?
Well, now I know where he is.
Where is he?
So he's in a purgatory vacation home upstairs in a Hawaiian shirt. So if they come to you in a Hawaiian shirt, they're not going straight to heaven.
And so you see him sometimes?
Yeah, well, not anymore, but I did when he passed.
Really?
Yeah.
So after he died, you saw him?
He came to me in a dream and he said, I want to hold you one more time. And I barely knew this man, but it was very primordial. You must understand, it was a deep part of my soul that he needed some kind of comfort from his daughter, and I gave it to him.
So is he in hell or heaven right now?
I would call it a purgatory realm.
Purgatory
In between.
meaning down below?
So we could call it the bardo, an in-between realm between here and heaven.
But in my world, it would be called hell?
Maybe.
I mean, because I don't understand that
I don't
language.
see him being tortured, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I got you.
You're right.
Oh, okay. And so how long you been doing the psychic work?
So almost 30 years. So I started professionally when I was 16 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
And so a psychic and an occult priest, that's the same thing with different names?
I am self-named, self-labeled the Occult Priestess because I felt like it fit best to be a universal kind of priestess, that it's of all, occult means mystery, so I'm a priestess of the mysteries.
Do you believe there is a God and a devil?
I believe there is a force that we call evil. Now, it does personificate itself throughout history, through people, but it is a force. Therefore, it can take over people. And so it's not something that's just a guy, you understand? It's a force.
Oh, okay. So it's an evil force. And how do people become evil? How does
question.
This force how does it get into people?
That's amazing. So I usually answer this question in the opposite way. However, to become evil, one must feed their ego. They must go with all of their negative instincts. They must lie, they must cheat, they must steal. They must continue to be an immoral wreck. And then eventually, I believe, they become a beast or a demon.
What would make a person decide to become that way? Because they're not born that way. Somewhere walking down the road, they decide to become that way. What made them decide to become that way? 9
times out of 10, it's trauma.
What type of trauma?
So abusive trauma in which I was abused. I had trauma. That sent me straight to the light. So you could say they went straight to darkness. And I don't know where that's a linchpin. That's something we've been wanting to know for generations, what causes someone to go bad. But I also 100% believe in past lives, and that a lot of those negative tracks or positive tracks were set up before this current incarnation.